morning, app creators. Today is Tuesday, February 9th. It's another remote learning day. And today we're going to finish up the GermGuide app by completing the vector and water screens. If you completed the activity for yesterday, Monday, then you've got the crowding screen done with the measles button and the meningitis button. Today you're going to do the same thing you did yesterday for two more screens, the vector screen and the water screen. And it's pretty much the same thing as what you were doing on the crowding screen, except with the vector screen we have two different diseases. We have malaria and dengue fever instead of measles and meningitis, and then on the water screen we have cholera and ETEC. So you're still going to create the same items. You have a title label on the screen, and then the vertical arrangement, and then the two buttons on the inside, the two players in the non-visible components, and then the same block structure that we had in the crowding screen. So you can always go back and look at the crowding screen in order to see what needs to be done. The only difference is that we have to substitute these things. So, for example, on the vector screen, instead of the title or the title label saying diseases associated with crowding, it's going to say vector-borne diseases. And the buttons will be malaria and dengue fever. The source will be malaria.mp3 and dengue fever.mp3. The text on the buttons will change. The block names will change, except it'll still be the player start and player stop. Everything's the same as what it is for the crowding screen, except for the names. And once you have those two screens done, what you're going to turn in today is not the Google document, unless you didn't turn that in yesterday. You're going to actually turn in the file itself. So you're going to export the file from App Inventor to your Chromebook or computer, and then import it into Schoology in the appropriate place. So let's take a look at that. Remember that in the Activity 1.3 folder we have the place for the Google Doc here, and then the file upload here. So you're going to click on the file upload, and then on the right hand side click the submit assignment and the file button, etc. as you go through, just like you've turned in all the other files for the other apps in the class. Okay, so let's take a look at the app that we have so far. So yesterday you did the diseases associated with crowding. We have our measles button and meningitis button. And on the block screen then we made these blocks here, where for each button we stop the other player. So from the measles button, we stop the meningitis player, and then we start the player that is associated with that button. That way, if this other player is already playing, it'll stop, and not both of them won't play at the same time. And then we also, this was optional, we also have up here at the top where we stop both of them before we leave the screen. Okay, so you'll be doing just about the same thing on the other screens as well. So if we go back to our designer screen and take a look at the vector screen, see there's nothing on there, and the only blocks we have on here are the screens. So when we're all done, it should look like the vector-borne screen here, where we have our malaria button and dengue fever button, and then we have the blocks on there. And then on the water screen, we have waterborne diseases, cholera, and ETEC. Then you're going to go to Projects, Export Selected Project. Remember, export means we're taking it out of App Inventor. Import means we're bringing it in. So we want to export to my computer, and it'll show up down here in the lower corner. If you're running Windows, and if you're on your Chromebook, then it'll show up over here in your notification area, or wherever you have the notification area set up on your Chromebook. And then once the download is complete, then you can go to Schoology and upload it. Another thing, if you don't remember the properties for the buttons and all the controls, you can always go back to that link for the GermGuide instructions. Now these instructions have it so that it's for the crowding screen, but when you get to the properties of the different items with these tables and things like that, most of the properties are going to be the same except for the text properties or the source properties and things like that. So when we look at the title label, the only thing that would change would be the diseases associated with crowding. And on the buttons, the only thing that would change would be the text on the button. All the rest of the stuff is going to be the same. So you can either look on the crowding screen, excuse me, and copy it, or you can use this document that we used yesterday to complete the app. Okay? If you have any questions, I'll be on my email throughout the day. And don't forget that you have to have the whole thing done and the file itself here turned in to Schoology by 3 p.m. Thanks and happy coding.